Folks, you cannot make this crap up. Yesterday, Joe Biden was applauding the success of striking a deal on the infrastructure package. A deal, which you have to have a deal in order to draw up a bill. We reviewed this infrastructure package in detail yesterday. It's almost $1 trillion in spending over the next 5 years and amounts to a total of over $1 trillion once you count it over the next 8 years. It includes money for many different things like roads, bridges, safety, rail, EV infrastructure. By the way, EV only getting $7.5 billion for chargers versus the $175 billion initially promised. Just a small difference, small detail there, right? But, you know, this was applauded. This was a big plan, big bipartisan plan that was applauded. We drew sort of some pictures here about how we think, okay, good. So we got a check mark on the plan over here. We got this part done, but we still have to get the bill drawn up. Then we have to vote. Then we have to work on the next bill, which is the soft infrastructure plan and the bill for that. So that we knew that there was work to do. We also knew that there were ways to finance this new investment here by having more IRS audits and selling some oil from the strategic oil reserve and the 5G spectrum. And we left off with the expectation that this would be an infrastructure package that would pass sometime between August and October because Congress moves slow, right? We know that. Well, things just got a little more entertaining, let's just say. Republicans, who were part of this bipartisan negotiation, are very, very pissed less than 24 hours after this deal was struck. And see, that's because yesterday during questioning, Joe Biden said, quote, "If this is the only thing that comes to me, this plan here on hard infrastructure, quote, I'm not signing it. It's in tandem." In other words, he wants both the hard infrastructure package and the soft infrastructure package done together. That is, even though we have a plan right now, and we've gone a step in the right direction on having a hard infrastructure plan, Joe Biden also wants the soft infrastructure plan. So while we have the hard infrastructure plan done, the soft includes issues that Republicans get heart palpitations from, such as tax increases, more social spending, more child or dependent care spending, housing reform, and even changes to certain aspects of housing, such as the 1031 tax-deferred exchange, right? This would be a reduction over here. And these are things that are expected to be in the soft infrastructure package, which Republicans do not want. And so it's really interesting that Joe Biden would strike a deal on the hard infrastructure package, but then in discussions condition the signing of that hard infrastructure deal, which he made a deal. He even went as far as saying that Mitt Romney has never gone back on his word in making a deal with Joe Biden, and they struck a deal, and that a deal, a verbal deal, a handshake deal is good enough for Joe Biden because that's how things are done around his parts, where he came from. But just a few hours after that deal is made, Joe Biden suggests, well, yeah, we made that deal, but I'm not going to sign it unless Republicans also bring me the soft infrastructure deal. Republicans apparently didn't think that was part of the deal they made. And so Republicans are going off today, saying in endorsing the deal, Biden praised the group for keeping their word, but then immediately broke his, says a Republican aide. This is in the Washington Post. McConnell says that Joe Biden is, quote, caving completely in less than 24 hours. Ben Ryder, an aide to Senator Portman, who's working on the bipartisan deal, says, quote, it completely violates the spirit of the deal. The Republicans involved in negotiations feel betrayed and made fools of for agreeing to a deal in which Democrats will ultimately get everything they want. Lindsey Graham, who initially endorsed the deal, said, quote, no deal by extortion. It was never suggested to me during these negotiations that President Biden was holding hostage the bipartisan infrastructure proposal unless a liberal reconciliation process package was also passed. I can't imagine any other Republican had that impression. Folks, this is a problem for Joe Biden. But you've also got a response here from Jen Psaki that says, well, it's pretty much the Republicans' problem to deal with. she was a little evasive about addressing the issue and said that she didn't have any calls between Biden or Republicans either scheduled or to report. Now, initially you think, hey, that shouldn't be a problem because Democrats can just go with budget reconciliation and slam dunk some bills with 50 votes. Screw the Republicans, right? Doesn't quite work that way. Budget parliamentarian came out and said that Republicans and Democrats, mostly Democrats here because they have the power to actually do this, only have one opportunity left to use a budget reconciliation measure to pass a bill with just 50 votes, and then Kamala Harris as the 51st tiebreaker vote. This is even considering if Joe Manchin were willing to go along with a budget reconciliation deal. So, in other words, I feel like you're kind of right back to where you started. You're in a place where we have no deal, we have no path to getting an infrastructure deal. All the talk about maybe a fourth stimulus check, which might be included, or I'm sorry, not might, is vaguely rumored by some that it should be included in the next infrastructure soft package or social package. No guarantees it's coming at all. You have all of this being talked about, but in reality right now, we've literally got nothing. We're basically, it feels like right now, back to ground floor, back to square one. We're starting over. Congress sucks. Congress fails again. Well, now we'll see what happens. Maybe this is just a misunderstanding, but this is the latest in terms of what's going on at the Capitol. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you in the next one. Keep in mind, if this stresses you out, get life insurance in as little as 5 minutes by going to metkevin.com/life.